What is up, YouTube? My name is Trinity and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. So it has been a while. I feel like I start out every video with that, but it's true. There have been a lot of changes in my life. As you can see from the background, I am in a completely new place. I think last time I uploaded a video, I was either just about to graduate from my first college or had just graduated. So a lot of stuff was happening at the time. I was putting on a fundraiser and a lot of personal stuff was going on in my life. So as I said, I graduated from college. I officially have an associate's degree and I plan to continue. I'm planning to continue at a different college than I was originally accepted to, which is a decision I've recently made. A really big one, considering the school I got accepted into was my dream school for the longest time, but it's a decision that I decided was best for my life. I'm not in school at the moment. I'm taking a gap year. I no longer work in an aquarium. I work as a receptionist and assistant in a vet's office. I'm with someone new. I live in a new apartment with them. And things are just going really well, and I'm really happy with where my life is at the moment. Despite all the changes in my life, I have just felt like I wanted to get back into YouTube. I've gotten back into a lot of my hobbies recently, drawing and painting. I've been wanting to continue writing the novel I've been writing since, I think, 8th grade, honestly. I wanted to continue that. I wanted to pick up new hobbies. I've gotten back into video games, and I'm just a lot happier, but this is a hobby that probably takes the most effort, so it took me some time to find the time to sit down and record a video with everything else I have on my plate. But without further ado, let's get into the actual meat of the video. So this video, we are going to be talking about an urban legend that a lot of people have probably already heard of, called the Black-Eyed Children. It's a very well-known urban legend, even though it hasn't been around for a very long time. People say that the legend dates back to around the 80s, but the earliest account that most people can find is from 1996. So for those of you who maybe haven't heard of it, it's exactly what it sounds like. Their entire eye is completely black, no whites or anything, and that in itself is very unsettling. But that's not the end of it. So the average Black-Eyed Children story goes a lot like, usually at night, you'll be alone somewhere and you'll either be in a car or in your own home. You'll be approached by one or two children between the ages of like 5 and 15. They'll knock on your door and they'll ask for some sort of help, either to come into your house or to use a cell phone to call their parents or something. And being the not shitty person that you probably are, seeing these kids alone in the middle of nowhere, you want to help. But then you'll start to realize it's not something quite right. Generally, their eyes are obscured, so obviously you wouldn't be able to tell that something's wrong with them immediately. Sometimes people will say that they'll be in more old-timey clothing and they'll speak a bit differently than a modern child would speak. Or they could just be in hoodies and jeans and be completely normal. And they'll request for you to help them, and you'll obviously feel the need to help them, but then something will stop you at the last minute. You'll either be reaching for the door handle to let them in, or you'll go to roll down the window and you'll just get a bad feeling. And that's generally when their eyes are exposed to you. You can tell they're not human. That's generally where the stories end, because people will drive away or they'll slam the door in their face. Yeah, it generally ends with the narrator of the story just slamming the door and being done with it. Now, of course, there's the questions on what are the Black-Eyed Children. There's a couple different theories. The non-supernatural theory is just some shithead kids putting on black contacts and going to scare people, which I could definitely see happening. And just to any shithead kids that want to come to my house and knock on the door and try to scare me, I'll just let you know I am not above punting a child, so just keep that in mind. Another theory is because of their inability to enter a person's home without explicit permission, and the sometimes older style clothing and the older way of talking, that they could be vampires. I think that one's pretty silly, to be honest, but this whole thing is kind of silly. I don't believe in this personally, but I think it's just fun to talk about. Another theory, I guess, is that they're ghosts, but there's nothing that really points to that besides the sometimes older clothing and just general creepiness of the theory. Some people say that they could be human alien hybrids, and like the black eyes are the traits of the alien parent, and they're just trying to learn how to fit into human society or trying to learn more about human society, and they're really bad at it. Another theory that I've heard is that they're the children of the Men in Black. Now, if you don't know who the Men in Black are, there's an older movie with Will Smith in it. They're not exactly that. That's more of a comedic take on it. But the Men in Black are supposedly these human-like figures, but they're obviously not human, that come and visit you generally after you have a different paranormal experience, and they kind of intimidate you to keep you quiet on whatever you experience, whether it be a UFO sighting or a sighting of Bigfoot or whatever else it is. I'll probably do a video later on the Men in Black because I feel like it's really cool and creepy, and there's actually an account, a very famous account of them happening very close to where I used to live. So I kind of want to explore that a little bit more because it sounds fun. Now, what exactly makes black-eyed children so scary? There's always been the demonic child trope in like horror movies and horror media in general, and that definitely plays into it. But what makes it so scary? So what makes black-eyed children so scary, aside from the obvious, like they feel creepy and their eyes look creepy and you just get a really bad feeling around them? There's actually two different things that I want to talk about when it comes to that. Both of them kind of have to do with our evolution. One has to do with the hypothesis of human evolution. I'm a biology nerd, so of course I had to bring that into this. So the first one comes to the cooperative eye hypothesis. So this hypothesis just talks about why we have the whites of our eyes when in a lot of other animals they're not as visible. So with other animals, part of the reason it's not as visible is just because a bright white anything is likely to catch the attention of a predator, and there's probably some other reasons that I didn't feel like looking up. But the theory for why we evolved the sclera of our eyes to be white is for communication and cooperation. So it's more efficient to communicate with somebody else if you can see where they're looking. So think like in our early days when we were hunting as a group, it's more beneficial if you can see where I'm looking. And it's also more beneficial in a threatening situation. If you think somebody is threatening or a danger to you, it's beneficial to see where they're looking. Are they looking at you? Or are they looking at something else, you know? So the fact that there's a human or what looks to be a human looking right at you, but you can't really tell where they're looking. Are they looking at you? You can't even really discern like how they're feeling from their eyes. We're very emotive social creatures, so even if somebody's not speaking, you can tell a lot from their eyes. But from this thing right in front of you that looks like a human, you can't really tell what they're thinking. You can't tell where they're looking. You can't really tell if they're a threat or not. And I think that makes us uncomfortable. And then the second one is a little more obvious. We as a species generally have the instinct to protect the younger members of our species, whether they're our own children or not. So that instinct we have is kind of used against us in media where children are the villain, or in spooky stories like this, where the danger in front of you that you have an instinct to protect is going against you. It feels very wrong. And it's not just unsettling, it goes against what we've evolved to do. The whole point of evolution is to keep going, become a better species, so we can keep passing on our genes. And the very thing that is supposed to be very basic in us, that's supposed to continue our species, is being used against us. If what is supposed to be a benefit to us is being used to prey on us. All right, that's enough lecturing from me. I feel like my college professor, and I need to stop. And it's also going to take me a while to edit and add images and stuff to this video because I hate looking at pictures with people with their eyes completely black or something wrong with their eyes. Like if I'll be scrolling on YouTube one night and I'll see a thumbnail for something like that, I literally have to put my finger over the image and scroll away because it makes me feel so uncomfortable. And I'm currently home alone right now as I'm recording this, and I'm gonna have to start editing, and I'm not looking forward to it in this dark room I'm in with nothing but the sound of my mice scurrying about. I really am not looking forward to the next hour of my life. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for those of you who have stuck around and have subscribed in my absence. Thank you for not just seeing that I haven't uploaded in a while and giving up on me. I really appreciate it, and hopefully I will be getting videos out to you guys more often. I know it's the same song and dance, I promise, every time, but I'm in a much better, healthier place. I feel physically better as well as emotionally better, and this is something that I want to continue doing more often because it makes me happy, and I feel like I'm in a better place to actually do it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy. If you have a friend that loves creepy stuff or you just want to freak them out, be sure to share it with them, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.